this episode, we're going to talk about the QAnon Shaman's mother. With the recent video releases from Tucker Carlson, she has something to say. Welcome back to Radically Rational Radio. Like, thumbs up, thumbs down, comment, subscribe. Let's get into it.
So last night we talked to a lawyer who represented January 6th defendant Jacob Chansley, the so-called QAnon Shaman. The lawyer told us that the government, the prosecutors in this case, in violation of the Constitution, hid exculpatory evidence from him and the defense in order to send Jacob Chansley to prison for 4 years.
Can you believe that?
Tonight. And we showed you that evidence this week. It's surveillance footage that shows federal officers leading Jacob Chansley around the Capitol like tour guides. At one point, they even opened the door of the hollowed Senate chamber for him and ushered him in.
If you've missed this footage, I'm so happy you're getting to see it now.
That Jacob Chansley, whose every action inside the building is videotaped, committed no felony. And the government hid that fact.
Man's in prison for trespassing right now.
Allowed to paint Jacob Chansley as a dangerous terrorist who deserves to be killed.
I think the most amazing thing about the whole thing is watching the video, and on the Senate floor there's a cop who's armed, and a guy bursts in, the QAnon Shaman, dressed like a Viking, and he basically talks to him. I'm watching. Shoot him. Shoot him.
That was disgusting.
You burst in.
Yeah, just kill an American.
If he was dressed like Bin Laden, would you have shot him?
Imagine if they said that about someone you loved. Well, now we know that the Biden administration created that perception that this man should be killed, and then broke the law specifically to destroy the life of American citizen and naval veteran Jacob Chansley, who again remains in prison tonight. The question is, what happens next? Martha Chansley is Jacob Chansley's
I predict
mother.
he'll be out soon.
Shipley is his attorney.
Let's hear what she
and
says.
Tonight. Martha Chansley, thank you so much. First to you, what's it like? What has it been like for the last 26 months to see people like Steve Schmidt of the Lincoln Project on television?
She looks so
calling
excited.
for the
Good.
killing of your son.
What has it been like? It's an awful thing to say. It's horrible. I can't even, honestly, I can't even imagine even saying that for somebody who just walked through open doors.
Yes.
Right?
How does it feel to know that the U.S. government, the Biden administration, hid this evidence and on the basis of that lie and crime sent your son to prison for years?
It's upsetting. It's upsetting. It should have come out
It's infuriating.
2 years ago. That should have come out 2 years ago. He's an innocent man. Everything that he said that he did is true. That he walked through open doors.
I think it's important that we just pause a moment, and there's no way I won't sound like I'm taking the right side right now. Do you hear? My son was stolen, his freedom was taken, he was a sheriff protecting freedom and merely trying to defend what he believed to be true, and now we see him in prison for something he clearly didn't commit, and it's just so upsetting. If it was someone on the left, they would be burning the place down. We already see how emotionally high reactive people who think feelings are violence actually react. I think this woman is a saint.
Of that lie and crime sent your son to prison for years.
It's upsetting. It's upsetting. It should have come out 2 years ago. That should have come out 2 years ago. He's an innocent man. Everything that he said that he did is true. That he walked through open doors. He was escorted through the halls in the Senate. And part of the reason why he was escorted was because he volunteered to help them. He said that he saw people in the Senate and that he wanted to help them in any way he could.
Yeah.
And that's why, part of the reason why he was led around.
It's very obvious. Mr. Shipley, thank you for joining us tonight. So this show confirmed
and thank
today.
you.
Well, of course. We've confirmed today that the Capitol Police turned over all the video, including the video you just saw of Jacob Chansley, your client, to the FBI right after January 6th. So the FBI had this videotape, and they withheld it from his initial lawyer in his defense. How is he still in prison tonight?
That's a great question. Sorry,
It
am I
is.
supposed to say, or is
No,
Bill?
I was just asking the attorney here, as a legal matter, how is this?
Okay.
How is your son still behind bars?
Well, Jake did not have a lot of post-conviction options. The plea agreement that Albert Watkins talked him into signing waived all his appeal rights. So he had no opportunity to go to the Circuit Court of Appeals to raise any issues connected to his conviction. He had limited.
I can't believe our government puts no appeal plea agreements. That is horrible. I had no idea that that was possible. We should not allow that. That's insane. Because they can just threaten them with like, oh, we'll call you a terrorist. You'll go down in the history books as someone who tried to ruin America, or sign this and you're fine. No appeals. Pretty sickening.
Rights to challenge the performance of Albert Watkins as a lawyer. When I came into the case, that's the first subject I began discussing with him, was my criticism of what Watkins talked him into doing. It was a terrible plea agreement. It was an unconscionable plea agreement. I've done this for 35 years. I recognize that immediately what Watkins had done wrong. Watkins had him plead guilty before the government was even willing to say it had produced all the video. The government in August of 2021 was still telling judges, we haven't been able to get all of the evidence to defense lawyers, so please don't set trial dates. Albert Watkins didn't care. He convinced his client to take the offer the government made and plead guilty. So he's in a little bit of a mousetrap.
So, but now that we know
Disgusting.
that this was a travesty, I mean, the people responsible for it should be punished. Liz Cheney should lose her job today as a professor at the University of Virginia. She knew this.
Correct.
Destroyed a man's life. But how do you get Jacob Chansley out of jail now?
I don't know if she should lose her job, but she did
We're
know
looking at
this.
that. I'm not sure there's an easy solution. There's not an easy road to that, to get the matter back in before Judge Lamberth and the district court here, and to have him reconsider his sentence. In many ways, it's procedurally barred. We're going to have to come up with a creative way to get it back before Judge
Legally,
Lamberth.
they tried to make it
I think Judge
impossible.
Lamberth may
They're
be a little
forcing
bit,
him to do his time.
unhappy that,
Gotta make an
the
example.
government presented some videos at the sentencing to paint Jacob in the worst possible light, the way they described him in court as, the face of the insurrection, violent, and then, Judge Lamberth, frankly, he gave him the sentence that Albert Watkins negotiated.
Lies.
The sentence in the plea agreement was 41 to 51
They should
months,
all
and Judge
go to
Lamberth gave him
court
41 months.
for dirtying
But I
this
don't think
man's
Judge
name.
Lamberth today probably thinks he saw everything he needed to see when he made that decision.
Yeah, I mean, this is just an open and shut travesty as far as I'm concerned. And Godspeed to both of you getting this unjustly convicted man out of jail. Martha Chansley, William Shipley, his attorney, thank you both very much.
Thank you, Tucker. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you.
Holy crap. Tucker Carlson is just crushing it. We gotta be grateful. Love him or hate him. This needed to come to light. It is clear that a free man is in jail, and he's given up his rights to even disagree. But when the overwhelming evidence says that a crime has not been committed, I believe his guilty plea should be null and void. Well, this has been Radically Rational Radio. I want to thank you guys for joining me. I really hope this guy doesn't have to spend the next 2 years in jail for no reason other than trying to be a patriotic American. Non-violent man. All right, thank you.